Welcome back. This is Lisa from Imagination Sisterhood Studio, and this is part two of From Masterboard to Journal. The papers you are seeing were a freebie from Free Printables for Your Journaling with TLC, and you can find that link in the description of the video. In the first episode, we covered what a masterboard is and how to create it and making the foundation. In this episode, we are going to talk about creating focal points, using accent colors, creating balance, and I'm even going to slip in a little bit of fussy cutting tips. I guess that's it, so let's get started. So why am I starting this tutorial with a piece of purple cut paper? Well, we left off part one of this series with the foundational masterboard completed. In this episode, we're going to jump right in by creating focal points on your board so that you can use them to make tags, tucks, and even journal covers. And sometimes you might even add a contrasting or darker color to back an image and make it pop. All right, I found this adorable little polka dot. I think it'll work quite well. I'm just going to cut a piece out of there. Grabbed a couple other purple pieces while I had my head in my purple box. And again, just really broad, flowing cuts around your shape. This one I have to move my scissors because I didn't glue my picture down, so this is much harder. It's much easier to move your paper than it is to move your scissor. You can be much less exacting if you're moving your scissor. But I didn't glue this down. I don't know why I didn't glue it down first. All right, let's add a little glue. Glooby dooby doo. This paper just had so much variety in it. I really just, it inspired me to do all kinds of things. That's why I kind of wanted to share it. And I feel like everybody needs to know that Paulette is over there doing some really beautiful work and sharing it quite generously. There we go. Yes, I like that. Okay, so that's going to become, I'm going to glue that on there. And that's going to pop out a little bit. And I definitely need something up here. So let's find something smaller. One of my smaller pieces. And like I said, if you're going to do one, then the next one up is 3. You can't do 2. So we're going to have to do something that puts 3 things. So let's take this pansy right here. Oh, I like that yellow one right there. No, I don't think I like that. All right, so we're putting this purple one, going back to what we were doing. Let's grab this purple flower. And again, just going to fussy cut around it. These are broad, really broad. And I think the thing is, it reminds me a lot of snowboarding. I was a snowboarding person for many years, snowboard instructors, well into my late 50s. It reminds me a lot of snowboarding in that when you're trying to fussy cut, you need to keep in mind where you're going, not where you are. So you're always looking you're always looking ahead. You're not looking at where you're immediately cutting. And I think if you look ahead, then it becomes easier to make those decisions as to, when do I turn my scissor? And I think it makes it easier to make all those little distinctive cuts without chopping stuff up. Yes, okay, we've got that. I wish I had a small one of this. Let me see, if I copied it a million times, do I have a small one? I think that's going to be enough like it. I think that's what we're going to use right there. Cut this out. And I'm going to wait, and I'm going to use that leaf, that green stalk right there. So I'm going to be very careful cutting this out. I really would like some greens in this. So I would say for most people, what I'm doing is not truly like a random masterboard, because at this point I'm kind of constructing what I want. So you can do it this way. If I know I'm using it for something, then I want to do it this way. This is how I want it because I want to make sure that I get what I want. You can, however, just choose a bunch of these elements, the big flowers, and randomly glue them around places, and then just cut it out to make tags whatever size you want. Yes. Oh, I love that. All right, so let's see if we've got any stems and leaves that we can use. I don't think that's big. Oh, that might be big enough. Let's try that one. And I think I'm going to leave it a little rough because this is a masterboard. So I'm not really trying to be, I'm right up in the camera there. Sorry about that. The paper's taking me all over the place. I think I'm going to kind of use this as a background piece, but it's going to end up giving some height and some greenery to this bit. So I think I'm going to stick this back in here like this. And now I have an even number. I don't want an even number. So let's do it that way. But then I got this. I think we're gonna leave it that way. I think I am going to, oh, I know what I'll do. I have a little tiny, let's cut out a little tiny yellow butterfly and stick him up there. So anybody watching this that is a true masterboarder is probably saying, oh my God, she's cheating, she's doing it wrong. And I probably am doing it wrong, but this is just how I'm showing how I would decide if I wanted to cut this into tags and I wanted to make sure that I had stuff the way I wanted it. This is how I would do it. And then we'll move on from there. All right, so I'm going to cut this little tiny, and as you can see, I just took this and I made it smaller and then I made it smaller. And you just take that by taking the image and put it in your docs or pages, whichever you work on, an Apple or a PC, and you just move it into your docs, and then you just play with the size of the image. And I'm going to cut this out, and that way I've got this little tiny butterfly, and that'll be perfect. And then I think from there we will be done with this video, because from here it's just a matter of cutting it apart and deciding what you want to do with it. And then if you feel like you want something more to stand out, I think I will do that before we're done. We will glue something on and cut it in half so you can see how it works. And then we will be finished. All right, so let's go ahead and ink these. Remind me to put my pen in my shading thing, because otherwise I will lose it. Should make a little live buzzer on there, and people can buzz me and say, Lisa, you set your pin down, you're going to lose it. Because it happens a lot. Happens a lot. I love when I lose my scissors. I'm sitting here at my desk, not doing anything else, and suddenly the scissors are gone or the glue is gone. I'm like, where the heck could it go? All I'm doing is sitting here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is move this out of the way, and I'm going to glue this on. Oh gosh, I got to do this first, because this goes under the flower. So let's glue this first. And I just set the glue side down on my work surface. So now I'm going to have glue on my work surface, which I hate. I just got a brand new self-healing mat because my other one was 4 years old and covered with glue, lumpy stuff. All right, so if we decided we wanted this at like 2.5. So I want this to be kind of to the top. So I think we'll do that with it. Even put it a little overlapping. And that way when we cut it, you'll see what's going to happen because it's kind of cool. All right, and then let's glue this on top of it. And I want to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So that would be here. Okay. And then we want this glued on there, and we will top it off with a little tiny butterfly. I think we'll put this a little off to the side. And then the butterfly at the very top. This one has no yellow on it, so this will be just a little pop of yellow to go with the center of the... Alrighty. So what are we going to do with the rest of this? Let's play with just a few more areas. And then we'll come back and we'll cut it. All right, so I have this gigantic pansy. I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to cut the leaf and all. I want the whole daggone thing. And I could be really fussy and fussy cut around the pokes of the leaf, but that would probably drive everybody watching this nuts. So I'm just going to cut it smooth. Truth be told, normally if I'm cutting something, this has a very jagged leaf on it. I have 2 scissors that I like to use. Let me find them. I love using these. This just looks like torn paper. And so if you have a jagged edge, if you cut with this torn paper scissor, this is by Fiskars, it'll look like you were the queen of fussy cutting and you were just able to navigate those ins and outs with no problem. So that's, and I have another pair that have kind of a pattern to it, but it has a very distinctive jagginess to it. And so if I want it to look like I really did some fussy cutting, then I use those scissors instead of trying to cut in and out by myself, because it's hard to do that little tiny cutting. And why do it if I can do it really quickly and easily with the fancy pair of scissors? I may glue some of these numbers on too. I don't have any of these numbers glued on anywhere. Zoop up around the curve. Yep, I'm going to use it just so you can see. It's really cool. So then I just cut like this. And I'm going to go around like this. And where's my purple paper so you can see? Look at that nice jagged edge. And I didn't do anything. I just used the pair of scissors. So those are the Fiskars. And it looks like cut paper. I love doing that because I don't have to do any of the work and I get all of the benefit in my project. Let's ink this up. And then this will be all ready to use when I create my journal from this masterboard. All right, so let's just think, where would we like this flower? Where you know what, I'm noticing, I feel like, and I commented before, this is very plain. I didn't put a whole lot on top of that. So I'm thinking, I'm just gonna want that right there somehow. I hate covering up that seed company thing, but I really, really think I'm going to want that there. Oh, how about that way? All right, I'm going to make this run right off the page. That's what I'm going to do. Just had to play around with a little bit. All right, so we now have our masterboard completed, or not. You know, you can keep adding to it. You can keep deciding you want more stuff on it. Oh yes, I love it that way. You can still see the seed company. Delicious. I might just trim this off and glue this somewhere else. Let's see, do I want a little piece of leaf somewhere across the other side? I think the answer is yes. Yes, I do. I'm just going to stick it right there. All right, so from here, you can take this and cut it into sections. So this would become your tag, and you can cut it wherever you want. There's no rules about it. It's your masterboard. You can cut it like this. You could cut it even smaller, like this. You can make, you know, short, you can make squares out of it. I mean, there's nothing, there's no rule at this point. You've made the masterboard. You can use it however you want to use it. What I did was create a journal cover. So this, you can see it's the same exact thing. It's got the same exact stuff on it. And then I took the gigantic pansy and a smaller butterfly. I made a very big butterfly, glued them on top because I wanted this to look this way. So I took the masterboard and I put these pieces on top to make the masterboard. Oh, and this is this gorgeous architectural piece. I love this. This is, I put it along the side. Hold the phone, don't go away. That's this, and I inked it with a lot, because I just loved that. It's just gorgeous. So, so that became the cover of my journal. I've used the rest of the papers in here, as you can see. I've got a flip out in here. This is a piece that I don't have showing, but it's included in the thing. So I've used all of these papers in here to create the front of my journal and then the back of my journal. So these will go together. And from here, I'll fill it with pages, and we'll use the masterboard to make pockets and tags and dividers and all kinds of stuff. If you enjoyed this video and enjoyed learning about masterboards, and especially enjoyed Paulette's prints, please head on over to her page. Again, her group is TLC Creates Vintage. I want to see if I can find it on her paper somewhere so you can see it and jot it down. And I can't find it anywhere. Anyway, head on over to her Facebook page. Join in the fun of this challenge, and then you can make a journal along with me, because I'm going to, from here, I'm going to start a new video, and I'll start filling it, and we'll start decorating it, so together we'll make a journal out of this masterboard. Thanks again for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share. Subscribe if you would like to get more of my I'm just starting out, so I'm just starting to put up some videos, but I'd love to have you join me. And again, you can join me on Facebook group at Imagination Sisterhood Studio. Thanks for crafting with me.